Right. This is just a note in the Aspire that says the material is 3/4 inch thick, and that's going, of course, for the wood parts. Again, I'm using Aspire version 12, and this file is Canteen 7-inch. I'm working off of a thumb drive, so keep that. I also keep my master files on the hard drive and work between the two, saving that. So I've always got a backup of that. I've got a lot of time invested in this. This is in the aftermath of me building 6 of these canteens, and this is a little 7-inch canteen, and this is kind of what I've done as far as modifying the different parts. And first thing I'm going to do is go over here to your tool pass, and you notice that the lights were the green. The first thing I did is I changed a few things on this. The canteen is basically consists of these inner rings that are just, the inner rings are kind of like a ring finger that they slip over. These are a dowel alignment hole, and then these are the little parts that go inside that. This is a throat that goes around the collar, that goes around this part right here. This will go around that part to reinforce it. That's only if I have some issues with that, cracking or whatever. And so that's just a reinforcing ring, kind of like basically a natural made plywood. Anyway, so that's my different parts. That's the throat reinforcement. This is the throat collar. These are part of the plug, and then this, of course, is the top knob of the handle, and they all glue together. And so that's your different parts. Just a little bit about these tool paths. We're going to turn this one on and look at that. This is the small part center. This is cutting out the centers of these. Let me double click on that. This is the tool path. This is more information than you'll probably need, but it's going to be cutting all the way through the board because the board's 75. So I'm going through. I'm using a 1/8 inch end mill. I'm going to cut it on 4 passes. It's on the inside left, and that's pretty much that part of it there. Let me go over here and we'll look at this next one. And first off, we're going to go. You got to be real careful when you're jumping back and forth in between these things there, because if you save your tool pass and you have anything highlighted, that will go into it'll mess up all your tool pass. So be real gentle with it. Again, I'm doing this on a thumb drive and I've got my master file protected. Anyway, this is the outside parts, and it's only cutting 0.73 inches, which is leaving a little bit still holding the parts into the board. The reason I do that is because these little parts go flying, and that bit hits them, and it'll just tear them to smithereens. So you lose a third, maybe 20% of all your parts because it's sending them flying. So if you leave that to where it doesn't cut them out, you don't have to use double-sided tape, because double-sided tape's not going to hold all them little parts anyway, unless it's miraculous. But this does a good job. It basically holds them in there, and then I'll run it through the bandsaw or through the drum sander that's got the abrasive belts on it, and then I'll cut it to an onion skin, and then I can cut these out. I did find it's easier actually just to leave this at this door. It's got maybe between an 1/8 and a 1/16 of an inch on these little parts, and then just cut them out on the bandsaw as they're finally done, and it just get that little part. Don't take any time to do that, and then you can clean them up on the sander, because you gotta clean them up in the sander either way. So there you go. Anyway, that's going through there 5 times. It's on the outside right, and this one's adding tabs to the parts, and these little T's right here are the tabs that sit on there. That's an important thing when you got little parts going in there, and otherwise they go flying. And I am using again the onion skin practice, so I could actually eliminate the tabs on that if I wanted to. So I'm going to close that one down here, click off of it so it's not taking it. And that was, these two here were the 1/8 inch end mills going up, and then we go in here with the halfway dowels. This is the knob that goes on there, so I just wanted to hold this 3/8 of an inch, and it's going to be basically drilling on that one. This is the center ring, so it's going to be cutting out. That's a 1/4 inch, and then these are the outside rings they're going in here and cutting that out. Now, if you want to see what this all looks like when we get ready to go up here, so turn on all our tool paths. We'll go over here to preview mode, and that shows all your toolpaths, and we'll reset the preview, then preview all the toolpaths. And it goes down through there and it gives you an idea, a vertical idea of what it's cutting out, and you can virtually see what all it's getting ready to do. And if you want to look at the back side of it, whatever, the left side of it, see where it's at, and then the front, just click on that one right there to get it back to the front side, and then the top side. So you can look at it different. You can also zoom in with move it around with a control key, zoom in with your mouse key and look around. So generally whenever you're doing this kind of stuff, you want to look at this in preview mode to see what you're actually going to get out of the thing. So let's turn off, go back to our toolpath modes and go over that. They are in this 3D mode. They are starting to show toolpaths and different things in 3D mode more so you can do more designing in 3D mode, but I'm still kind of stuck in 2D mode because I just like looking at the vectors. This software basically cuts on the vectors, and so whatever you draw, you control what it wants to do. So for example, this is all my pockets, this is the outer ring, and then your holes. So let's go ahead and go over here to reset the preview on 3D view, reset the preview. Excuse me, it's morning and I've got some sinuses going on. So we're going to preview all the toolpaths. You can see that it's going through there and it's cutting out these little pockets. And we're going to look at that. You can see that the little pockets that are in there. And we can move that around in that respect like that. Look around it like that. Roll it around. And that's pretty good there. And then just to get it to reset to the normal view, we're going to go back here to right, top, put it on the top, and that kind of thing. So anyway, zooming in, there's your toolpath. So go back over to 3D view. And the thing about this particular ones, these are the end caps, and these dowels here are only cut in halfway, so they'll only go in 3/8. Then of course this pocket here only goes in 3/8, and then of course this cuts out on the outer rings. And what I do is I just combine all three of them because they're using a 1/4 inch end mill. And if you can use your 1/4 inch end mills, they have a tendency to break less than the 1/8 inch. And then I also create a layout here that's just these rings right here. That's all it does, is create some rings. So let's say you were making this and you had a knot in there or something, imperfection, you wouldn't have to go through and cut all this. You could cut this out all in just a matter of minutes, and it would just do all of the. Let's jump over in preview mode, and there's your pockets and your tabs, and so it would just cut all that stuff out, and basically that's what you would get with that. So let's click reset preview all toolpaths, and there you go. So that lets you know what you got going on with that. So all right, so we've got those done, and that's basically the biggest part of it. And then our straps, this is the jig. Let's jump over here and just double clicking on it, and this jig right here is just basically cutting this out. I want to do a jig cut out. I cut on the line, and this is 1/4 inch plywood. I'm going to cut through it, and basically I just use some 1/4 inch inlay, or a 1/4 inch ply, like some plywood that they use for subflooring, or not subflooring, but for the put underneath vinyl and stuff. So let's just preview all toolpaths, and you can see, this is what it basically is going to cut out. So got that part going. We're going to go back over to 2D view, and then the last one is the straps. I did add these straps in here, and let's jump over to this one right here. All right, I've got some memory verses that I'm supposed to do, and I was trying to figure out a way I can memorize that. And I thought about putting them on the Canteen, but my wife told me it was cheating, so I need a cue card. But anyway, so yeah, I need to delete that out of the file. Anyway, and she said, "How do you feel about cheating on your Bible verses?" I'm gonna lose on that one. But anyway, so these are the guys that are receiving these canteens, and then of course I made one extra, but these are their buckskin names, and they're all this is about a 3/16 inch leather, and it's burning them with a laser. We'll just see what she looks like, and that's basically what they look like, and it did a real good job burning them out. I did change the speeds and the settings and how fast that they process. One thing about the leather, whenever you're doing just, if you're doing the text, power is 20, the move speed's 100, and that's pretty straightforward. When you get ready to go to cutting it, then your move speed slows way down and your power gets way up there. So at that point like that, so that works out good. But that's the difference between that. Of course, you have your rasters and all that good stuff. So anyway, these came out just fine. I did use some golden dye from the leather factory, and then I ended up using some leather straps for this. So anyway, that's the file where it's at, and working pretty good. I enjoyed that. I did, end up haven't cut these yet to make sure that they do fit around these collars, and I did eliminate some of the extra parts that I didn't really need. I changed a couple of them, and then I also made these holes on these rings just a hair bigger than a 1/4 inch because they slip over the dowels. Instead of having to drill them, I just made them just a little bit bigger. And then these are 1/4 inch. They're fine. They're tight. That's the way I want them to be. But this one will slip up and down, so made these just a little bit bigger. And that's pretty much it. It's kind of a takeaway on that. And thanks for watching.